There's a 34-foot express cruiser sitting in a yard up in Sandusky, Ohio, and the counter on its listing just rolled past 400 days. 400 days. In that time, the seller has quietly knocked $18,000 off the asking price, and the phone still hasn't rung. Nothing's wrong with it. Twin inboards, clean survey, fresh water its whole life. It's just old, and it's a brand nobody brags about, so everybody scrolls right past it. And that is the best thing that could happen to you. Here's the part the new boat lot will never say out loud. The boat everybody wants is the boat everybody pays for. You walk onto that showroom floor, the salesman's already got the payment worked out, and he points you at whatever's hot this year, the one with the joystick and the outboards hanging off the transom. Popular, easy to finance, and when a boat is easy to sell, the price stays high because you're bidding against every other buyer in the marina. Now flip it around. The boats nobody's fighting over. The older express cruisers, the orphan brands, the gas inboards the internet told everybody to fear, those sit. And a boat that sits gets cheap. Not because it's bad, because it's lonely. Nobody standing next to you at the dock means nobody bidding against you at the table. So today I'm walking you through 6 old express cruisers that everybody ignores, and that everybody's wrong to ignore. Solid hulls, simple power, boats that were overbuilt back when overbuilt was just normal. Every one of them is soft on price for the exact same reason. No crowd. The best kept one is last, and it wears the biggest name on the water. Stay with me, because this only works if you can tell which ignored boat is a bargain and which one's a trap. Let me give you the lay of the land first, because this isn't a hunch. The used boat market has come back down to earth. After the crazy years, supply piled up and boats are sitting. A well-kept 10 to 15-year-old cruiser that used to move in a weekend now sits for months, because parked next to a brand new hull it looks dated, and buyers chase new. On top of that, the whole market swung to outboards. Everybody wants motors bolted to the transom they can tilt up and eyeball. So the older express cruiser, inboard or stern drive, gas, a little dated in the cockpit, has quietly become the least fashionable boat in the yard. And fashion is the whole word here. None of it makes the boat one bit worse. A boat sheds something like 5 to 10% a year once the early hit is behind it, and an unfashionable one sheds faster, which means the market is handing you a hull for well under what it costs to build. On nothing but taste. The boat is no worse for it. It just has no audience. And if you mean to keep it and use it rather than flip it, that missing audience is money in your pocket the day you sign. Let's start the count at number 6. The Larson Cabrio 330. Deep V-hull, sloped windshield, the kind of turn-of-the-century express cruiser you've walked past in every marina and never once registered. That's the point. Larson built a solid, plain fiberglass boat and never built a reputation to go with it. So today the Cabrio 330 is about the cheapest way onto 33 feet of cruiser there is. Look at the numbers. A clean one runs from the mid-20s to the high 40s, and I've seen tired ones under 20. For a boat this size, real cabin, a head, a galley, a swim platform, that's yard sale money. The hull under it is honest solid glass, and the power is a gas stern drive built on a truck engine block you can get parts for at any marine shop in the country. The catch is the one every boat on this list shares. It's a stern drive, so you stay on top of the outdrive and the bellows, or it'll bite you. Do that, and you've got a 33-footer for the price of a used pickup. Nobody's going to compliment you at the ramp. Your bank account won't care. And the next one up is the boat the whole internet loves to sneer at. And that sneer is exactly where the danger hides, so let me stop for 1 minute. Everything I just told you about the Larson is true, but ignored and cheap describes the gems and the disasters in the very same breath. The soft price that makes an overbuilt old cruiser a steal is the identical soft price on a boat with a rotten stringer or a transom full of water. The listing looks identical, the bargain smells identical. The ending is the opposite. Telling those two apart before you wire a dime is the whole game, and it's what I put in the Boats Worth Buying playbook. How to read a hull, a bilge, and a survey so a soft price stays a bargain instead of turning into a bill. Call it a few dollars against the 20-odd thousand a bad hull can quietly take off you on a boat this size. Links in the description, and there's a QR code on screen if you'd rather scan it. And if you'd sooner work it out on your own, everything I say today still stands. Number 5 is the boat the forums love to look down on, the Rinker 342 Fiesta Vee. Say the name Rinker out loud at a yacht club and somebody will smirk, and that smirk is worth real money to you. A genuinely roomy 34-foot express cruiser, twin gas stern drives, sleeping 6, averaging right around $55,000 to $60,000, with clean ones running anywhere from the high 30s to the high 80s depending on hours and water. Rinker built these on solid fiberglass with a modified V hull and twin Mercruiser or Volvo gas power, the same drivetrains under half the express cruisers afloat. Nothing exotic to break, nothing orphaned to source. What there is a badge that carries no snob value. And in a market run on badges, that's a discount with no downside for a man who just wants to use his boat. The honest wart: these are stern-drive boats with a big cockpit and a thirsty pair of gas engines, so they'll never sip fuel. But you didn't come here for fuel economy. You came for the most cabin per dollar on the dock. That's the Rinker. Next up, a boat from a builder that doesn't exist anymore, and that's the reason to buy it, not the reason to run. Number 4, and this is the one I want to stand up for because almost nobody else will. The Doral, the Prestancia, the Boca Grande, built up in Quebec by a family shop that ran from the late 60s until 2013, when they closed the doors for good. And the day a builder closes its doors, the market decides the boats are finished. Doral prices went soft and stayed soft. A clean Prestancia in the mid-40s, a Boca Grande into the low 70s, real money under the equivalent Sea Ray of the same year. Here's what the market got wrong. Doral built a genuinely good mid-range boat. Solid glass, tidy joinery, honest Mercruiser and Volvo gas power that has nothing to do with the company being gone. The only real knock is parts for Doral specific bits, the trim and the hatches and the odd bracket. And on a boat this simple, 90% of what breaks is engine and drive parts you buy anywhere. Folks are pricing in an orphan brand panic the actual boat never earned. That's not a dead brand. That's a good boat wearing a closed sign. Buy the boat and ignore the sign. Before we get into the top 3, one quick ask, and I only make it because we're this far in together. If the Doral just made you rethink a boat, you'd have scrolled right past. Tap the like. That's the one thing that tells the algorithm to put this in front of the next fellow about to overpay for the popular boat. And subscribe if you want the rest of these, because there's a whole yard of ignored boats I haven't gotten to yet. That's it. Back to the count. Number 3, the Four Winds Vista, the 348 and the bigger 378. Now here's a builder people actually respect, and it still barely moves used, which tells you just how much of this game is fashion and nothing else. Four Winds built the Vista tight and clean. Sea Ray owners who've run both will tell you it stands right up next to their boat, with twin gas inboards or stern drives, and later ones with diesels and pod drives. The prices tell it. A clean 348 averages around $72,000, and a well-kept 378 lands in the same country. A lot of well-built freshwater boat for a hull reviewers called genuinely fun to drive when it was new. Why does it sit? Thin distribution. Four Winds never blanketed the coast the way Sea Ray did, so in a lot of markets buyers don't know the name, don't go looking, and the seller waits. That wait is your leverage. The thing to check hard is the drivetrain. The V-drive and pod boats are more to maintain than a plain stern drive, so you price the survey accordingly. Land a clean gas inboard one and you've got a boat that outbuilds its price tag and its reputation both. Number 2 is a boat from a name everyone respects, priced like one nobody's heard of. Number 2, the Cruiser's Yachts. 3375, the Express and the Esprit, built through the 90s into 2000. Cruiser's Yacht sits on every short list of the best express cruiser builders in the country, right beside Sea Ray and Tierra. And a clean older 3375 sits today, anywhere from the low 20s for a tired one to around 60 for a mint freshwater boat, averaging in the low to mid 40s. That's premium builder fiberglass at bargain brand money. These came with twin Mercruiser 454 V-drive inboards, big simple truck-based gas V8S with no outdrive to rot at the transom. That's the exact setup that scares the outboard crowd and the exact setup a wrench turner wants. A freshwater 3375 with under 1,200 hours on those 454s is a hull with decades left in it, and a drivetrain you can rebuild in a driveway. The reason it's cheap is the reason that keeps repeating on this list. It's an older inboard express in an outboard world. Respect doesn't move a listing. A soft price does, in your favor. And number 1, the boat that proves the whole point. The mid-90s Sea Ray Sundancer, the 330 and the 370. Sea Ray is the biggest, most recognized name on the water. Nobody ignores Sea Ray. Except they do, they ignore the old ones. Every buyer with Sundancer money is off chasing a newer hull with the current look, which leaves the 1990s 330 and 370 sitting quietly with the softest prices of anything here. Now see what that buys you. A clean 330 Sundancer averages around 50,000, with solid ones down in the 30s. A 370 runs 60 to 85. For that, you get the most supported hull in the entire used market. Every marina in America knows these boats. Every mechanic has been inside the twin 454 or 7.4 liter V drives, and parts and canvas and glass are everywhere because Sea Ray built so many of them. It's the single easiest express cruiser there is to own, priced under the off brands, for one reason and one reason only: it's last year's haircut. Buy the unfashionable Sea Ray, and you get the one thing every other boat on this list can't fully hand you: a bottomless parts bench and a mechanic on every dock at ignored boat money. The biggest name on the water, the smallest crowd bidding on it. What I'd buy with my own money comes down to the man. If I'm honest about how I actually boat, keep it 10 years, turn my own wrenches, never once care what the neighbor thinks, I'm writing the check on the old Sea Ray Sundancer every time. Bottomless support, soft price, a hull that'll outlive me. But if I wanted the most boat for the fewest dollars and I could stand a little parts hunting, I'd steal the Doral out from under everybody because the market's punishing that boat for a closed factory instead of grading the boat in front of it. Because that's the trick under all six. The crowd sets the price, and the crowd is looking somewhere else. Let them. The empty space around a good old boat isn't a warning, it's your discount, and it lasts exactly as long as nobody else shows up. There's a whole other list waiting, the ignored boats that are cheap because they should be. Be the one buyer who does the math.